Hi everyone. In this video, we will see how we can do the challenging lab related to can you implement, manage and monitor Azure storage, which is little advanced challenge lab. So you'll not be getting information or instructions how to do, but you may be getting some links for the document. When you go through those documents, then you can do if in case you are unable to do some particular tasks. So let me just minimize these instructions. So let me first log in, the admin username and password. This lab, once it is loaded, you have to wait for at least 2 or 3 minutes because behind some resources will be getting created. So just leave for or wait for 2 to 3 minutes and then you can start doing the lab. Okay, let's go and do our first activity. The first activity is about create and add content to an Azure storage account. And again, if you see here, there is a hint, but when you expand it, it doesn't give you the instructions. It is little advanced lab, so you need to do all these instructions by yourself. So this particular video, what I have made is just for your reference purpose. So what I strongly recommend you is that, so whatever the instruction is given here, just follow, try to do by yourself. And if you're failing to do, or if you fail to get to know where exactly and what exactly you have to do, and then you can refer my video. So maybe you can try to do by yourself. And if you achieve, then fine, you can search internet sources as well. And if you fail to do so, then this video will be there with you and it will help you to complete this particular challenge lab. But my recommendation is do try by yourself once and then come to my video. Okay, so let me adjust this particular display setting according to my screen size. And go to the maximum one. Yeah, this is enough. Let me keep these changes. I'll close this. Fine, now let's go and create and add content to Azure storage account. So first we create storage account and then add content to it. So we already did this step. We are already logged in. Now we need to access Azure portal. For that, let me access Microsoft Edge and then key in the username and the password. So this lab, you will be getting only 45 minutes plus 1 15 minutes addition. So you'll be getting totally 1 hour to do it. So I can say yes. So we just logged in. Now next we need to create one storage account with the name SAS 5429918. So I can just close this. And for that, for creating storage account, you can just simply search storage account on this particular search bar. And don't get deceived that there are two resources already created, two storage account already created, but you're supposed to create your one, what is given in the instruction. And for creating a storage account, we will go on, click on create. And we need to put it in this particular resource group and then the storage account name. This name must be perfect, then only the validation will take place successfully. Otherwise, it fails. So make sure that you're giving the names perfect. So I've given this particular name, and then it should be kept in East US region, and then enable anonymous access on individual container. So this must be done now before creating it. So only these settings you're supposed to do, and then in here, if you see enabling anonymous access on individual container. So this box must be checked. And then that's it. So these are the criteria for creating storage account. Let's say review, create and create. Once done, then we create a container and add some file to that particular container. So the validation passed. Let's create the storage account. Great. The storage account creation is successful. Now let's go and create a container named M365 setup. So for that, I need to get inside the storage account created by me now and go to data storage, go to container, click on add container and give name as suggested in the instruction. Whenever you're going to give a name and some particular parameter, if it is given, then that must be addressed. So I'm giving a name, fine. So one more parameter is that this anonymous access level must be set to container anonymous read access for containers and blobs. So this must be set. You might get a warning. Yeah, you can say create. So that's it. So there is no more. Let's go and create it. So once this container is created successfully, I'll get inside this container and upload one file as given in the instruction. Let me browse for the file. Then I can just go and click and try to search this. Okay, and say upload. One file got uploaded. That's online users.csv. So perfect. Now we have done the steps, required steps, what is given under the first task. So let's go and verify. So you need to do this verification because at the end it will give you the grade. So when you say submit, at the end of the submit of this particular challenge lab, you will be also getting the grade. And you also need to capture that particular grade as well. So if both are tick mark, then everything is perfect. If one is in red mark, it means there is something mistake you have done. You have to go and revisit that. Then the next thing is configure storage account security mechanism. So all these things, whatever is given here, it is little advanced. That is the only reason I'm making this video also, just to help you because there are multiple constraints. There is a time constraint and then new concepts constraint. So there are multiple things, but you use my videos for reference. Just try by yourself, browsing online. If you get it, that's really great. Otherwise, you have my video with you. Fine. So the next activity is this, or task is this, configure storage account security mechanism. So in this, we need to go and enable Azure Disk Encryption for volume encryption. So already one key vault is created. So you might be knowing why that key vault is for maintaining key secret and certificates, right? So those key certificates and all can be used for multiple purpose. And the same thing can also be used for a virtual machines disk encryption. So you need to enable that. So for that, let's go and search key vault. So this is the key vault given. Let's get inside here. And then it says that you need to enable Azure Disk Encryption for volume encryption. So now I recommend you to do by yourself by pausing my video here. If you get it, fine. Otherwise, you can come back here. So I need to even search. It might be under settings. You can go to access and configuration and see here you have this particular option, Azure Disk Encryption for volume encryption. So this must be enabled. So when you store a key, and that key can be used when you store a key in this particular key vault, and that key can be used for disk encryption. And that setting is done. So if you expand, you get where you can get the document to do this particular activity. So you can even go through this particular document as well. Okay, next thing is that we need to create a key named like this. Okay, so for that, we will go to objects. So key vault will be storing three different objects, like it can be a key, it can be encryption related key, secrets, and certificates. So, but we are going to create a key. Now let's say generate or import. And this name must be given as it is in the instruction. And you don't need to change other thing because we don't have any specific key creation. So you can just leave it to RSA key itself. and then the key size to be the default, and then you can say create. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go with the next, milestone or task, whatever it is. So the next task is configuring an existing storage account named SAA. So this was not created by us, but it was created by default. So let's go and find that account, SAA. And you need to be very careful because almost all the three storage account name will look similar. And instead of going for SAA, and if you go for SAAS, you succeed doing the activity what I have done, but you fail when you go for verifying it because the proper storage account should get the proper configuration. So in here, if I go SAA account, okay, to use a customer managed encryption key named what we have created previously. Okay, so for that, what should I do? So I'm right now inside this SAA and I'll be going to security data management. Yes, no settings. Okay, what is the task? Existing storage account named. Okay, use a customer managed encryption key. Yeah, here we have under security plus networking, we have something called encryption. So by default, it will be taking Microsoft managed key, but we are going to use our key. So that key what we created in our previous step. So let's say customer managed key, and then you need to select the key vault and then the key. So this is our subscription. Then the key vault name is this, and then the key what we have created is this, and then you can say select and say save. So this task is also done. Next is enable secure transfer for SAA storage account to allow request from secured encrypted connections only. Okay. So this must be enable secure transfer. Okay, this must be somewhere here in the configuration. Let's go to configuration. Search somewhere here. Yeah, secure transfer required. So this must be enabled and say safe. Is there any other parameters? Enable secure transfer. Okay. That's for SAA. Okay. And then you can say safe. Next, configure SAA storage account firewall to allow access from the IP addresses of your lab virtual machine only. Okay, so for this, you need to first find your IP. So when it says lab virtual machine, this is the lab virtual machine, but not your laptop. So in here, just go and search for what is my IP and select the only link, the first link. Sometimes you don't get as expected. So you can even refresh once. It is a weird error. I don't know. If you're trying to access in your first browser tab, and if you're getting it, fine. If you're not getting it, you can go to the one more browser tab, and when you try, you get this. So this is the IP. I need this IP. Let me copy this IP. See, and I'll come back here. Fine. So now I have the virtual machine IP, the lab virtual machine IP. Now I need to configure the storage account firewall to allow access from this particular IP. So for that, what should I do? I will be going to networking, security and networking. In here, you have this public network access. You can go and click on manage. Okay, enable from all networks. So that's the default behavior, but now you're going to restrict to only one IP, and that IP I'm going to type in here. So this is the IP. Let me just check if there is any leading space and say safe. So now this storage account will be accessed only from this particular virtual machine. It's done now. Next is let's try to verify once. If everything is okay, then we can go to the next step. That's all. If it says everything is done, then we can go to the next step. Next step is configure monitoring for a storage account. So I think we are almost at the end. If a classic diagnostic setting for the block property, okay, so for which storage account it is SAB. Let's go to storage account SAB. In here, block properties. Okay, I will just go to configuration. Is it here? No. Here, no. Okay, so it says expand, modify classic diagnostic setting. Okay, so I need to search for the classic diagnostic setting. So monitoring classic. So diagnostic setting, there will be two entries. So we need to go to the classic entry, classic diagnostic settings, SAB. Now let's enable this. And then the logging version set to 2.0. And we are not reading all, only read. Set only, check only the read checkbox. That's it. And say you need to uncheck the remaining one and click on save. Okay, that task is done. Now next is begin configuring an alert rule for this particular SAB. Okay, fine. So how do we do it? We'll go to monitoring. Under monitoring, you have something called alerts here. Create an alert. Let me cross verify once again the storage account SAB. Okay, fine. So the signal, I need to go and search all signal and search for the given signal and say apply. Okay, fine. And this is the signal, and then trigger the alert when the status changes to failed. Okay. So trigger this alert when the status changes to only failed. Okay. So not all, only just check the failed. Okay, fine. Then create an action group. So I need to go to next. Use an action group. Let's go and say create an action group. I think we are supposed to create an action group name storage admin. Okay, let's go and create an action group name. So let this be global. There is no any specification what it should be. Let it be global. Fine. Action group name. This is storage admins. It should be under the resource group called AZ9300RG. Next, display name to be this. Once the display name is set, then I can go to notifications. In here, I need to select email, SMS type of notification. And then it should be named as email storage admins. And then give my email. You can give your personal email. And say okay. Let me check. So this is creating an action group called storage admins, then creating a action group and SE admins. Okay, fine. And then the role. Okay, next is action. No, and review create. So this is creating a action group. Once this action group called storage admin is created, then that is to be added to this particular rule. So next, let's go to details and give the alert rule name as given here. The alert rule name to be storage account key generation failed, and there is no any description needed. The resource group to be AZ300 and say review create and create. Done. Now let's go and verify this. Right, and say next, and that's it. So when you click on submit, okay, it will take you to another page and where you can see the grading of yours. So it should be 100%. If so, then perfect. So you will get 100% if you get all these green tick marks. That's it. So only the green tick marks if you're doing, then that's enough. That. So that's it. Thank you very much.